Hello, welcome back to my channel. My name is Juan Carlos Monsalve. Today is November 3rd, 2023. At the time of this recording is 6:55 p.m. Eastern Time. We are going to play another shoe of Baccarat today. I have in front of me a spreadsheet that I use to collect the data for you to access all the scorecards of previous game for today's game and previous games. You can visit my website juancarlosmonsalve.com. You can support my channel if you go to buymeacoffee.com backslash Juan Carlos Monsalve. You can do that there. The name of the game is Baccarat. Please give it a thumbs up to this video. Subscribe to my channel. Ring the bell for notifications when I upload a new video. Share this video with others and observe. When you just watch the video and observe what is happening on the right side of the screen where all the scorecards are being populated with the information that I enter on the left. Here, in this column is the information for player, for banker, and here is going to be the winner or if it's a tie. So we're going to start the game today. I have already explained these spreadsheets in previous videos. Please look at other videos so you will learn how the information is presented here. So right now we're going to burn the card. Now we have a nine of hearts, so we need to burn nine more cards. Three, four, five, 6, 7, 8, and 9. So this is 9 cards that I'm burning, including 9 plus the 9 of hearts. So a total of 10 cards. Again, today is November 3rd, 2023. And we're going to start with the first hand. Okay, first card for player, banker, player, banker. Now we start with a natural 8 player and 3 banker. So the first hand is a player hand. Next hand, first card player, banker, player, banker. We have one player and natural 9 banker. So this is a banker hand. 1 9. The next hand, first card player, banker, player, banker. Now we have a natural 8 banker and a 7 player. So 7 8. This is another banker hand. Next hand, first card player, banker, player, banker. I have a 1 player and 3 banker. The third card for player is a 6 for a total of 7. And banker has a 3 and gets a third card. The third card is a 1. So for a total of 4. 7 4. This is a player hand. Next hand, first card player, banker, player, banker. I have a natural 9 banker. Excuse me, natural 9 player and 5 banker. We have 3 players, 2 bankers, 0 ties. Next hand, first card player, banker, player, banker. I have a 3 player and 6 banker. The third card for player is a 2 for a total of 5. 5 players, 6 banker. Banker doesn't get any more cards because of the third card of player. That was a 2. Next hand, first card player, banker, player, banker. I have a 1 player and 5 banker. The third card for player is a 0, so it remains at 1. and banker doesn't get any more cards. So one player, five banker. Next hand, first card player, banker, player, banker. I have a seven banker and a stance, and also player has a seven and a stance. So this is the first tie of the shoe. 7-7. Next hand, first card player, banker, player, banker. We have a seven player and a stance, and banker has a four and gets a third card. The third card is a zero, so it remains at four. 7-4. Next hand, first card player, banker, player, banker. We have a zero player and zero banker. The third card for player is a zero, and the third card for banker is a three. So this is a banker hand, 0-0-3. Next hand, first card player, banker, player, banker. Now we have a natural eight player and zero banker. Next hand, first card player, banker, player, banker. Now we have a natural eight player and zero banker. Exactly the same result as before. 8-0, two 8-0s in a row. Player hands. Next hand, first card player, banker, player, banker. I have a three player and one banker. The third card for player is a zero. And banker has a one and it gets a third card and it gets a four. So the results are three player and five banker. That was a banker hand. Okay, I'm gonna go back a little bit here to be able to freeze the titles here. So we can keep looking at the titles. Next hand, first card player, banker, player, banker. I have a natural eight player and zero banker. Next hand, first card player, banker, player, banker. I have now a zero player and a natural eight banker. We have seven players, seven bankers, and one tie for a total of 15 hands. Next hand, first card player, banker, player, banker. I have a natural nine player and five banker. Next hand, first card player, banker, player, banker. Now we have a natural nine player and a natural eight banker. The highest and best score is a nine, and this is a natural nine. Next hand, first card player, banker, player, banker. I have a three player and two banker. Both of them get a third card. This three plus six goes to nine. And banker gets a third card. The third card is a zero, so it remains at two. 9-2. That was a player hand. Next hand, first card player, banker, player, banker. I have a two player and six banker. The third card for player is a zero, so it remains at two. And this six, we don't get any more cards since we got a zero player third card. So no more card for banker. Next hand, first card player, banker, player, banker. I have a one player and five banker. The third card for player is an eight. So one plus eight nine player, and because we have an eight third card player, we don't get any more cards for this five. So banker is a five. Next hand, first card player, banker, player, banker. I have a player four and banker three. The third card for player is a six for a total of zero. And banker has a three. He gets a third card, and the third card is a seven for a zero as well. So zero zero. This is the second tie of this shoe. Next hand, first card player, banker, player, banker. I have a three player, zero banker. We need a third card for both of them. Player goes to nine, and banker gets a third card. It's a two, so it is 9-2. This is a player hand. Now we have 12 players, eight bankers, and two ties. Next hand, first card player, banker, player, banker. I have a two player and zero banker. We get a third card for both of them. A player goes to five, and the third card for banker is a five. So this is another tie, 5-5. So three ties on this shoe, 12 players, eight bankers. Next hand, first card player, banker, player, banker. Player has one and banker has one. The third card for player is a three for a total of four for player, and banker gets another one, so it goes to two. 4-2. This is another player hand. We have 13 players, 8 bankers. Next hand, first card player, banker, player, banker. I have a natural 9 player, and banker has a 3, so it is a player hand. Okay, next hand, first card player, banker, player, banker. I have a 5 player, 0 banker. Both of them get a third card. The third card for player is 0, so it remains at 5, and the third card for banker is a 6, so this is a banker hand, 5-6. Next hand, first card player, banker, player, banker. Now we have a 7 player, and we have a natural 8 banker, so banker is higher. Next hand, first card player, banker, player, banker. We have a 6 player and a stance. Banker has a 0 and gets a third card. 0 plus 5, 5, and player has a 6. 6, 5. This is a player hand. I post these videos in YouTube. You can find them at Juan Carlos Monsalve 1652, and also have a Facebook group, Baccarat Research. You can find the video there as well. Next hand, first card player, banker, player, banker. I have a 6 player and a stand. So banker has a 4 and gets a third card, and the third card is a 0, so it remains at 4. 6, 4. Next hand, first card player, banker, player, banker. I have 5 player and 2 banker. Both of them get a third card. Player goes to 9, and banker gets a third card. It's a 1. 2 plus 1 equals 3. So 9-3, this is a playing hand. We have a total of 17 players, 10 bankers, 3 dice. Next hand, first card player, banker, player, banker. We have a 0 player and 3 banker. We get a third card for player. The third card is a 5, so it goes player goes to 5, and banker has a 3, and he gets the third card. The third card is another 3, so it goes to 6. So 5, 6. Um, that was a banker hand. Next hand, first card player, banker, player, banker. I have a 4 player and banker has 6. 4 player, banker 6. This 4 goes to 8. 8 player and banker has 6, and it doesn't get any more cards. So 8, 6 is just the total result of this hand. No more cards. Next hand, first card player, banker, player, banker. The player has a 3 and banker has a 6. The third card for player is a 0. So player remains at 3 and banker remains at 6. We don't get any more cards for bankers for banker. So next hand, first card for player, banker, player, banker. Banker has a 7 and a stance. Player has a 4 and gets a third card. The third card is a 0, so it remains at 4. 4, 7. That was a banker hand. The next hand, first card player, banker, player, banker. We have a natural 9 banker and 6 player. Next hand, first card player, banker, player, banker. I have a 5 banker and 3 player. The third card for player is a 6 for a total of 9. And banker has a 5 and 5 gets a third card. We get a player third card from 4 to 7. We have a 6, so we get a third card. So 9 and player has 5 plus 7, 22, or 15 plus 7, 22, meaning 2. We only found the last digit. Okay, next hand, first card player, banker, player, banker. Player has a 4 and banker has a 5. Um, 4, both of them get a third card. So 4 plus the third card is another 4 for a total of 8. And we have 5 and 5 gets a third card if we get 4 to 7, so it gets a third card as well. The third card is a 5. So 5 plus 5 equals 10 or 0. So that was a player hand, 8-0. Next hand, first card player, banker, player, banker. We have a natural 9 player and 4 banker. We don't get any more cards. Next hand, first card player, banker, player, banker. We have player 0 and banker 2. Third card for player is 1, and banker gets a third card, and the third card is a 5 for a total of 7. 2 plus 5, 7. So that was a banker hand. Next hand, first card player, banker, player, banker. Now we have a natural 9 banker, 7 player. That was another banker hand. We have 21 players, 16 bankers, 3 ties. Next hand, first card player, banker, player, banker. We have a 7 banker and 4 players. 7 banker stands and player gets a third card. The third card is another 2 for a total of 6. 6 player, 7 banker, and has been 3 bankers in a row. 21 players, 17 bankers, 3 ties. Next hand, first card player, banker, player, banker. Now we have a natural 9 banker and 4 player. That was another banker hand. Next hand, first card player, banker, player, banker. We have a player 7 and it stands. Banker has a 3 and gets a third card, and the third card is a 0. So 7, 3. That was a player hand. Next hand, first card player, banker, player, banker. Now we have a 7 player and stands, and banker has 6 and stands. So 7, 6. Next hand, first card player, banker, player, banker. I have a 1 player and 0 banker. Both of them get a third card. Player goes to 4 and banker third card is another 0, so it remains at 0. 4, 0. That was a player hand. Next hand, first card player, banker, player, banker. Now we have a natural 8 player and 1 banker. Next hand, first card player, banker, player, banker. We have another natural 8 player and 7 banker. We have 5 players in a row. Next hand, first card player, banker, player, banker. We have a 7 player and stands. Banker gets a third card. The third card is a 0. So it is 7 player and 1 banker. There was another player hand. We have 6 players in a row. We have 27 players, 18 bankers, and 3 ties for a total of 48 hands so far. Next hand, first card player, banker, player, banker. Now we have a natural 9 player and 7 banker. Next hand, first card player, banker, player, banker. Now the natural 8 is on the banker side. Natural 8 banker, 1 player. Next hand, first card player, banker, player, banker. Now we have a 6 player and a natural 8 banker. Next hand, first card player, banker, player, banker. We have a 1 player and 2 banker. Both of them get a third card. The third card for player is 0, so it remains at 1. And the third card for banker is a 5, so it goes to 7. 1, 7. That was a banker hand. Next hand, first card player, banker, player, banker. I have a 5 player and a 5 banker. The third card for player is a 3 for a total of 8. Banker doesn't get any more cards, only gets a third card if the player third card is from 4 to 7. So the total is 8 player and 5 banker. Next hand, first card player, banker, player, banker. I have a three player and a three banker. For player gets a third card. The third card is a two for a total of five player and banker gets a third card and the third card is a zero, so it remains at three. So 5-3. That was a player hand. Next hand, first card player, banker, player, banker. I have a six player and a stance. Banker two and gets a third card. The third card is a five for a total of seven. And player has a six, so 6-7. Next hand, first card player, banker, player, banker. I have a four player and banker has two. Player four and gets a third card. The third card is a three for a total of seven. And banker has two and gets a third card. The third card is a three. So total of 6-7-6. This is another player hand. Excuse me. I had a two plus three is five. Five player and banker is a total is seven. 7-5. That was a player hand. Next hand, first card player, banker, player, banker. Player has a six and a stance. Banker gets a third, is a four and gets a third card. The third card is a zero. So six player and four banker. The next hand, first card player, banker, player, banker. Now we have a seven player and banker has a natural eight. So that was a banker hand. Next, next hand, first card player, banker, player, banker. Now we have a natural nine player and natural nine banker. That was another time, 9-9. Next hand, first card player, banker, player, banker. We have two player and zero banker. The third card for player is a zero, so it remains at two. And the third card for banker is a five, so total is two player, five banker. So we have 32 players, 24 bankers, four times for a total of 60 hands. The next hand, first card player, banker, second card player, and banker. We have a seven player and a stance, banker three, and gets a third card. The third card is another three for a total of six, and banker has seven. Seven bankers, excuse me, seven players, six banker. Next hand, first card player, banker, player, banker. Now we have a natural nine player and five banker. Next hand, first card player, banker, player, banker. I have a two player and three banker. The two player and the third card is zero, so it remains at two. Banker has a three and it gets a third card. The third card is a zero, so it remains at three. 2-3. That was a banker hand. Next hand, first card player, banker, player, banker. Now we have a seven player and a stance. Banker has seven and a stance, so this is another tie, 7-7. Next hand, first card player, banker, player, banker. Now we have a natural nine banker, one player. Next hand, first card. Okay, we're playing hand number 66. We have our first card for player, first card for banker, second card for player, second card for banker. We have a six player and stands, and five, and banker has a five and get the third card. The third card is a one for a total of six. So six players, six banker. We have 34 players, 26 bankers, six dice. Next hand, first card player, banker, player, banker. Player has a six and stands. Banker two and gets a third card. The third card is a five for a total of seven. So six players, seven banker. Next hand, first card player, banker, player, banker. I have a player three and banker has a zero. Both of them get a third card. Player gets a 4 for a total of 7. Banker has a third card, it's a 0, so it remains at 0. 7 player, 0 banker. Next hand, first card player, banker, player, banker. We have a 7 player in stance. Banker has a 4 and gets a third card. The third card is a 0. So 7 player and 4 banker. Next hand, first card player, banker, player, banker. Have a one player and two banker. I get a third card for player is a four for a total of five. And banker has a two, so it gets a third card. The third card is a zero, so it remains at two. So five, two. That was a player hand. Next hand, first card player, banker, player, banker. I have a zero player and three bankers. The third card for player is a four, and banker gets a third card. The third card is a zero, so it remains at three. Four, three. That was a player hand. Next hand, first card player, banker, player, banker. Now we have a natural nine player and four banker. Next hand, first card player, banker, player, banker. I have a five player and zero banker. The third card for player is a six. So five plus six, one. Player and banker. The third card is a one. So this is another tie. 1-1. So we have seven ties on this shoe so far. 39 players, 27 bankers, and 7 ties, a total of 73 hands. Next hand, first card player, banker, player, banker. I have a zero player and a zero banker. Both of them get a third card. The third card for player is a 4, and the third card for banker is an 8. So 4 player, 8 banker. Next hand, first card player, banker, player, banker. We have a zero player and six banker. The third card for player is a seven. So now it's a seven player, and we have a banker six. But because we have a seven player third card, we get a third card for banker, and it's an eight. So six plus eight, um, six plus eight, four. So 7-4. 7-4. That was a player hand. Next hand, first card for player. Now we have a cut card, so we will play this card, this hand plus one more. Second card for player for banker. First card for banker. Second card for player. Second card for banker. Player has a six and a stands. Banker has a five and gets a third card. The third card is a six for a total of one. So six player and one banker. And the last hand of the shoe is going to be this one. First card player, banker, player, banker. Now we have a natural eight player and six banker. So this is another player hand. This is a player dominated shoe. It's 42 players, 28 bankers, 7 ties for a total of 77 hands. I'm gonna go ahead and save this file here so I don't want to lose it. Now we are going to, I'm going to remove the remaining of the deck here. The remaining, we put it in the discard tray here. And we will go over the different scorecards that I have here. Um, one of the scorecards is 1 to 11. Let's see what we see here. I see here three players in a row. Here four players in a row. Four bankers in a row. One player and one more banker. Um, I see here four players in a row. Three players in a row. 1 through 10, I see here four players, three players, three bankers here, three players here. Every 9, I see three players, four bankers. I see here six players in a row. And row number 2, three players in row number 1. Every 8, I see four players here. I see six players here. I see 3, 6, 7 players here. I see 3, 6, 8 players here. Three players. I see five bankers, one player, and two more bankers on this row. And here is another. So on this row that we had 10, only one player and one tie on this row. So that's interesting. Every 7, I see four players here, three players, five players, three players, four bankers, three bankers, four players here. That's every 7. Every 6, three bankers, three players, three more players, three bankers, three players, one tie and one more player here. Five players, three players here, three more players, three more players. That was every 6. Every 5, I see here three players, four players, three players, four bankers. Every 4, I see three players, three more players, 3, 6, 7 players here, 3, 5 players here, four bankers, three bankers here. Every 3, I see three players here, three bankers, three bankers here, three bankers, four bankers. Every 2, I see 3, 6, 7 players, one banker, and three more players. That's interesting. Three bankers, four players, three players here. And this is with ties, and I also have a different set of, I'm going to remove the split of the titles here. We see here 42 players, 28 bankers, and 7 ties for a total of 77. So I'm going to go ahead and copy this information, the results. I'm going to copy this information. I'm going to bring it down here. I'm going to copy, and I'm going to go ahead and remove the ties. Again, I when I started playing this game, I was told not to use ties, so I never used ties in my strategies. Here I copy the values. I don't want to bring the formulas, just the values, and then I'm gonna remove. I'm gonna place a title and a split here, so I keep this as a title, and I'm gonna remove the ties. So I'm gonna remove this tie here. I move the cells up. Next tie that I remove, delete, cells up, move cells up, delete, move the cells up. One more tie here, delete, move the cells up. One more tie here, delete, move the cells up. One more tie here, delete, shift the cells up, and one more here. Delete, and then I go back after I remove the ties and make sure that there are no ties there. I copy again this data and I move it to the results column, so I populate the next set of scorecards. And the scorecards on the right side, you see that they got populated with no ties. So after I make any changes, I save the information. I don't want to lose the changes. So we go over these scorecards as well. We have three, 6 players in a row here, three more players, three bankers, and this is every two hands. I see here 3 players, 4 players. I see here 5 players, and then we go to the next one that is 3 players here, 3 players, three more players, 3 players, three bankers here. Um, I see here 6 players in a row, 3 players, 4 bankers, and I see here the chop as well. Banker player, banker player, banker player, banker player. Those things also happen, and no matter how you record the scorecard, how you enter the information, you will see those patterns that follow. Every four, I see 3 players here, 6 players here, 4 bankers. I see 8 players here, 4 bankers. Every five, I see 4 players here, 3 players, three bankers, three more bankers. 5 player, 4 players, 4 players here. Every six, I see 3 players, 4 bankers, 4 players, one banker, and five more players. 4 players, 3 players, 3 players, 3 players, 3 players, separated by one banker, and here 6 bankers in a row. Every seven, I see 5 players, one banker, and then four more players. 2 bankers, one player, and three more players. Excuse me, 2 bankers, one player, three more bankers, followed by 4 players. 4 players here, 5 players here. Every eight, one through eight, I see 4 players, one banker, two more players, 6 players, six more players here, 4 players, 5 bankers, 2 bankers, one player, 2 bankers. Every nine, I see 3 players, three more players, 3 bankers, 3 players, 3 players, 3 bankers here, 3 players, 4 players. I see row number eight. I see three, six, 7 players, three more players here. Every that was every nine. Every 10, I see 4 players, 4 players, 5 players here, four bankers, and 1 through 11. I see four players, three players, three players, three bankers, four players, three players, four players, and that's without ties. So uh, I'm gonna remove. Oh, and also when we come here, the counter, we see still have the same 42 players, the same 28 bankers, but it shows zero ties. We had 77 hands. Now that we removed the ties, now we only have 70 hands. So this is the end. So what I do with this, I'm gonna remove the split. I'm gonna print this information. What I do, I print the information uh, in a PDF file. I print the information in a PDF file, and you will see it like this. You can find it in my website juancarlosmonsalve.com. This information that I provide here is free of charge. It's available in my website juancarlosmonsalve.com. Again, you can support my channel by going to buymeacoffee.com backslash Juan Carlos Monsalve. This is voluntary. The name of the game, Baccarat. Don't forget to give it a thumbs up, subscribe to my channel, ring the bell so you get notified. Share the video with others and observe. My YouTube channel is at Juan Carlos Monsalve 1652, and my Facebook group is Baccarat Research. Um, when you access the scorecards in my website, this is the presentation that you will see. This is every two, every three, four, five, six, and it has up to 10 pages. There are some pages that are blank, but that's the way that it prints it. I don't make any changes. At the beginning, just you will see the ties, and then the second part um, of the pages shows the no ties. So you can navigate through that. You can print the information. You can just browse over it, verify your own strategies, and that's all for today. This is the end of the video. Thank you for watching the videos. Please watch those videos from the beginning to the end. Watch the videos several times. You are already a baccarat player. Review your own strategies. See how often those strategies work, for how long. Create the strategies that you go to the casino. You are in and out in a few minutes, and you make the money that you need. I only provide the information for your entertainment purposes only. If you play at your own risk. Um, don't play when you cannot afford to lose. Just make sure that you have fun, and if you can make any money, some money at the same time, that's a great thing. So thank you for watching the video, and I will see you on the next one. Have a good day.